Okay, we're picking up today where we left off last time. I had cut out a couple slots here and here to show how you can reach in here to mount these bolts here when you're mounting your motor, to reach inside to hold them. So I went ahead and tightened down my motor, all these bolts, and then I cut out the rest of my slots. And these I think are about 3 by 8, and those are generally 4 by 6 here. And I laid a piece of, this is 1/8 inch screen in. I changed the design a little bit so it's easier to get the dirt out if you're using a piece of tin underneath there as a chute to rake it all out rather than a wheelbarrow under it. So what I did is I took out the board that ran from here to here and just put a board like a 1x4 crossways. As long as this wheel, the center of this wheel and the other one is 15 inches, it'll lay in there just right. Another thing I did, if you'll step right around here, is I took small boards and screwed them in. You can see the screw up here. Just to hold those in, that makes the dirt kind of feed to the back, or the material feed to the back a little bit instead of spilling out so fast. Also, when you get this screen, it's going to be 3 foot, but it's about 3 or 4 inches too long. So when you cut it, you turn it around so that the rough edge is back here. And this is your factory edge, and it's not so likely to get snagged on anything. Okay, step back around here. Another thing, when we took the motor apart, we took this piece off. I put it back on. It just 2 screws here, and this thing here tightens the clutch so that you would loosen it if you wanted to pull your cable out, but we're not using a cable. We're direct drive from the gears. But I put this back on because there's gears on this edge that could easily catch in somebody's hair, or a child could put their finger in there and get hurt. So we cover it here. It's not covered here, but it's really hard to get down into there. So, and then once I had my wheels here, all I had to do was raise this up and drill a hole here and put my bolt through here to hold this pretty level with the ground. See over here on the first one I built, I used a piece of tin to help the material come out. Without having the boards across there, it comes out easier. And I just made a thing like this that I can go on the other side to pull the dirt out. If it's damp, it sticks. One other thing I'll show you while I'm here, this is the switch, and you have to hold it all the time to make it run. So come around here, please. So I put in a regular switch like this. I just cut this wire, and there's 2 wires inside, and you just put them in like that and wire it into your box. These switches sometimes will go out on a 12-volt system, even though they're made for 120-volt alternating current. Another thing I want to show you up here is, stops here. I'll just show you really smooth, really good. Got the switch, cut it off. But instead of running from a battery, if you're running it in a permanent location, you can just get a converter to run alternating current over to DC current. Just make sure it's a 30 amp or 360 watt. That way you'll have plenty of power. You plug it in and run it without even using a battery. I got them temporarily spliced together here with clamps, because I can clamp that onto a battery and run it anywhere. But that's a convenient thing to have. I bought one, it just came in the other day, and it was $23 including shipping. Step back, please. Okay, here's what I use in mine. Instead of putting the screen in and lacing it together like I did the one over here, I use a piece of concrete reinforcement. This is 6-inch squares, so if you want to make one, it's 6 high, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it takes 11 to go around it. And when you go all the way around it, this one is my 1/4 and this is my 1/8. And you can just, after you got 11, you can just zip tie them together like that with your wire. And you can zip tie you some boards like that to keep the material feeding to the back. I use the lid off of a trash can, plastic lid. That makes it easier to take out and to dump, or to change the screen size, the mesh size. So that's the way it works. It works very well. I took several buckets. I would pour a bucket in my barrel like this of potting soil, and then I would put half a sack of perlite, another bucket, another half sack of perlite, and then a third bucket, and then turn it on. It will mix everything very good, come out very well like that. So these are very good for mixing soils and mixing all your stuff in your soil, even if you're not trying to screen out debris and rock. If you want me to build one for you, they're available locally. I'm north of Mobile, Alabama. So get in touch with me when you see this video. And we thank you.
Oh, I hit the